When you first start writing Java automation, placing all your setup, execution, and teardown logic in a single sequential file works. But as your project scales, those files balloon into massive blocks of code. They take too long to run and produce error logs that are nearly impossible to read. Today, we snap it all into place. Look at this split screen. On the left is the monolith, brittle and hard to maintain. On the right is where we are going, a structured TestNG suite, where tests are isolated, intelligently grouped, and executed perfectly. Over the next 6 minutes, we are going to apply structural annotations to separate your logic, group your tests by type, parameterize data to avoid repetition, and enable fast parallel execution. To follow along, you will need 3 things: an open IDE, a Java project with the TestNG dependency installed via Maven or Gradle, and a basic test script that you are ready to refactor. By organizing your code with TestNG, you eliminate the fragility of top-to-bottom scripting and turn your tests into a reliable engineering asset. Step 1 is establishing the foundation using structural annotations. These annotations define the lifecycle of your tests, separating the setup, the execution, and the cleanup into distinct, manageable blocks. We start by stripping out the raw sequential setup code, like initializing your WebDriver, and wrapping it inside a dedicated method. Above that method, we add the @before method annotation. This timeline shows the execution sequence: setup, test, and teardown. It handles the order. But placing heavy tasks inside @before method drags down execution time, as it runs before every test. @before class solves this. The connection executes once, bridging over all subsequent methods. Using these structural annotations ensures that every test executes in a clean, predictable environment, preventing one failed test from causing a cascade of failures down the line. Now that the individual classes are structured, we need to address execution time. Running a massive suite just to verify a small update to a login page wastes compute resources and slows down development. We can categorize our tests by adding the groups attribute inside the @test annotation itself. For example, you can explicitly tag your core path tests as smoke and your exhaustive edge cases as regression. You can enforce strict execution orders using the depends on methods attribute. If node A is your login test and node B is checkout, you link them. If login fails, TestNG automatically skips the dependent checkout test, preventing a useless error log. To orchestrate all these groups and dependencies, we use the testng.xml file. This file acts as the master control switchboard for your entire suite. Inside the XML file, you create a groups block and use the run tag to specify exactly which categories to include. By adding include name smoke, you tell the compiler to ignore everything else in the project. With groups and dependencies set, you gain surgical control over your test runs, giving you faster feedback loops by running only what you need. Next, we need to eliminate code duplication. Copying and pasting the exact same 50-line login test 5 times just to check 5 different passwords is a maintenance liability. Instead, we use the @dataProvider annotation. This mechanism allows you to write the test logic exactly once and then feed multiple datasets into it automatically. This mock-up of the IDE shows how the data is stored. The @dataProvider requires a 2-dimensional object-object array. Think of it like a spreadsheet. Each row represents a different user, and each column holds specific variables like username and password. Once your array is built, you go back to your @test annotation and add the data provider attribute, setting it equal to the name of your data array. When you execute the file, the single method fires once, fires a second time, and fires a third time. TestNG automatically substitutes the unique credentials for each run without you writing another line of logic. By utilizing data providers, you decouple your test data from your test logic. If your login scenarios change, you only update the data array, leaving the test method untouched. Even with optimized groups and parameters, a large suite running sequentially, one test completely finishing before the next begins, will eventually become a bottleneck. To fix this, open your testng.xml file. Inside the suite tag at the very top, append 2 attributes: parallel equals tests and thread count equals 2. This diagram shows the result. Instead of waiting in a single line, your tests split across multiple threads. You will see multiple browser instances launch and execute tests simultaneously, cutting your runtime in half. Once that parallel run finishes, look at your project directory. TestNG has automatically generated a folder called Test Output. Inside that folder, open the emailable report.html file in your browser. This visual shows the built-in dashboard. It aggregates the results from your parallel runs, giving you a clear summary of passes, failures, and exactly how long the execution took. Parallel execution and automated reporting result in significantly shorter wait times and a readable summary of every test result in the suite. You have now implemented structural annotations for clean setup, applied groups for targeted runs, injected data dynamically, and accelerated the whole process with parallel threads. To apply these steps to your own project, check the description below. You can download our TestNG Quick Reference Guide, along with a testng.xml template that you can drop directly into your environment. Before you go, drop a comment and let me know, what specific testing framework or manual process are you currently migrating away from? Engineering a scalable automation framework depends on the strategic use of these TestNG architectural components. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next build.